أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Okay, so we are on page 12, chapter 7, belief in life after death. Oh, this. Okay. After the questions have been answered in the grave, the Muslims will be rewarded by Allah, while the angels of Allah will punish the kuffar. Okay, so we spoke about the questioning and all that already, no? Munkar Nakir coming to you, what's his name? So now, once you've answered the three questions in the grave, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward the Muslims. How does Allah reward the Muslims in the grave? By what? Didn't hear you. By?
Going to Jannah.
Go to Jannah. You can't go to Jannah while you're in your grave. How does Allah reward you in your grave?
In your grave.
Yeah, because you're still in your grave. It's not time for Jannat and Jahannam yet. The time for Jannat and Jahannam will only come after resurrection, when you come out of your grave, and then there's the day of judgment, after the end of the world. Then there's a day of judgment, and then there's questioning and reckoning by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then your deeds are going to be weighed on the scale, and then only you're going to go to Jannat or Jahannam. Now you're still lying in your grave. So how does Allah reward you when you're lying in your grave? You're going to lie in your grave until the world comes to an end. So how does Allah reward you? What Allah does is Allah opens for you the door or the window of Jannah. So you will get a cool breeze from Jannah in your grave. And depending on your actions and the type of person that you were, Allah widens your grave for you. Allah widens your grave for you, so your grave is like a comfortable home. So your grave is just not narrow like that. You can stand up and you can walk around, and as far as your eyes can see, you can meet with your relatives that has passed away and all those type of things. Okay? Or you can just choose to sleep. You can sleep and rest until the day of judgment. Okay? In comfort. That is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you in the grave. And then Allah punishes also those who didn't answer the questions, and the kuffar, Allah punishes them in the grave. And how does Allah punish them in the grave? With what? What is Allah's punishment in the grave?
He makes they're like consumed by the soul, right? They're in the dust.
Eaten by soil.
Yeah, look, the body is eaten by soil, but the punishment is related to the soul. Okay, the punishment is related to the soul, but the body feels the pain. Even though the body is busy decomposing, the body still feels the pain. So if a snake were to come and bite his hand, okay, then the ruh will transfer that pain to the hand of the person, or the ruh will feel that pain. So the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes in the form of the squeezing of the grave. So the grave will squeeze you, and it will become so narrow, it will squeeze you to such an extent that the hadith says that this side's ribs will come this side and this side, that side. So it will basically squash you. Alright? The other type of punishment is, now when you finish squashed, and the grave will expand again and you become normal again, then it'll squash you again. The other thing is snakes and scorpions in your grave that will attack you and squeeze you and bite you and sting you. But it's not normal sized snakes, it's big snakes. Scorpions as big as donkeys, basically. Have you ever seen such a big scorpion? So scorpions are that big. Snakes are like bigger than the biggest anaconda or boa constrictor that you've ever seen. So it's stuff of the other world. So it's not like our world stuff. Just as the pleasures of the hereafter is much greater than the pleasures of the dunya, so too the torment of the hereafter is much greater than the torment of the dunya. So it's not just a normal snake, it's the biggest and baddest and ugliest snake that you've ever seen in your life. So that punishment will continue every minute of the day until the day of judgment for those who don't pass that exam. Alright, so that's a very frightening thing, and this is why we make dua to Allah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة. Ya Allah, grant us the best of the dunya. وفي الآخرة حسنة, and the best of the year after. وقنا عذاب النار, and save us from the fire, from the punishment of the grave. So this is a dua that you must make often, to ask Allah not only to save you from Jahannam, but you also make dua to Allah that Allah must save you from the adhab of the qabr. Allah must save you from the punishment of the grave. Alright? Make that dua regularly, inshallah. In the akhirah, Allah will ask us, how did we spend our life in this world? So now this happens in your grave, alright? So you all the time in your grave. Let's say now, alhamdulillah, inshallah, that you pass the question, so you relax in your grave. Some people will walk around in the graves and meet people. Other people, depending on your piety levels, Allah will give your ruh permission to travel. Allah will give your ruh, your soul, permission to travel. So your soul can actually exit the grave and you can fly around. You can like go to Abu Dhabi, you can go to Cape Town, go to Makkah, go to Medina, you can go perform tawaf, you can go visit the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you can fly to Baghdad, to Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, you know. But you can't expose yourself, obviously. You show yourself to people, but you're this invisible soul that's going all over the show. So you are allowed to do that, depending on what permission Allah Subhanahu wa Taala gives you. So that happens, or you lie and you rest in your grave, or other people are getting punishment, and that takes place until the day of judgment, when the angel blows the trumpet, and then the world comes to end. Everything destructs, the world explodes and disappears, and only Allah Subhanahu wa Taala remains. Then for a while, for how long Allah Subhanahu wa Taala chooses, there's going to be absolutely nothing except Allah. After the world has been destroyed, there's going to be absolutely nothing except Allah. Then Allah will recreate everything. Allah will recreate your graves. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will recreate you. First of all, Allah will recreate the angel who blows the horn. What is the name of that angel? Hello?
Blows the horn. Blows the horn.
Yeah, who blows the horn? Angel bloweth the horn.
Angel Israfil.
Israfil. Where did you get the answer from?
I wrote it down. We wrote it down.
Oh, very good. So, you're supposed to know it. I think I should test you on this also next week. Yeah,
Right.
Israfil. Israfil alayhi salam is the one. You mustn't just write it down, you must learn it. You must learn it. You must watch the videos also repeatedly. So Israfil alayhi salam is the one who's going to blow the horn. So he will blow it the first time, then he will blow it the second time, so to signal that it is the time for Qayamat. And then our graves will split open. And then there's a part between our shoulders, which is called, did I teach you this already? Hello? Ujbuz Zam. Did I teach you that already? You sure?
Sure.
I'm sure I taught you Ujbuz Zam. Let me just see. Ujbuz Zam. Where is Ujbuz Zam? Okay, maybe we didn't do that. So anyway, Ujbuz Zam is a very tiny and small atom that is somewhere in your back, between your shoulders. Some people say it's lower down on your spine. So it's such a small atom that's actually invisible to the naked eye. So it contains your entire DNA. Okay, it contains your entire DNA. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recreates you, not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs that, but Allah will recreate you from that small thing, Ujbuz Zam. Ujbuz Zam, write it down. Ujbuz Zam. UJBUZ and ZAMM. Ujbuz Zam. Allah will recreate you. Then you will come back into your bodily form. And then it will be the day of reckoning, the day of judgment, the day of Qayamat. Qayamat, the day we said the day of Qayamat means Qayam means to, it comes from Qiyam, from standing. So it's the day of standing. What does that mean? The day of standing before Allah. Yawmul Hisab is the other name. The day of Hisab. Hisab means when auditing or reckoning is taking place. So the day of reckoning. Or the day of judgment, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pass judgment on you. Okay, judge you. So there's different names for Yawmul Hisab, or the last day, or Yawmul Akhirah, the day of the first day of the Akhirah. So there's different names for it. So we'll call it Qayamat, or the day of judgment. Okay, so that will then take place, and we all will come before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each one will get their chance to stand before Allah, and Allah will question you. And the first thing that Allah is going to ask you about is your salah. The first thing that Allah is going to question you about is your salah. If you perform your salah, how you perform your salah, why you perform your salah. That is first. And then Allah will ask you, how did you spend your life? Allah will say that I've given you life. How did you spend your life? And then you must answer, Ya Allah, this is what I did, that is what I did. And then Allah will say, I've given you money. How did you spend your money? I've given you knowledge. How did you spend your, or how did you use your knowledge? So all this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions Allah will ask us. So we make dua that may our reckoning by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be an easy reckoning, inshallah. May it not be difficult, because I think to myself, if I must stand before Allah and Allah asks me questions, I wonder if I'm going to have the guts to answer the questions. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Allah say, Amara, why didn't you get up for Fajr? And then what are you going to say? Do you have an answer? Can you say anything? Oh, what are you going to say? Ya Allah, I was tired. Ya Allah, I slept late the night before. Or, Ya Allah, I was busy with my project, so I fell asleep at 2 o'clock. I think to myself, how are we going to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day?
Terrifying.
Eh?
It's terrifying or
Yeah, so we make dua that, there's those companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those special servants of Allah who will enter Jannah without questioning, without reckoning. Allah will be so pleased with them. Allah will say, no questions, go to Jannah. So we make dua, may Allah make us of those, inshallah. Ameen. Say Ameen. Where are you looking? You big girl, you're looking there.
No, because I'm facing like this.
Yeah. You're looking there. Anyway. So we make dua, say Ameen, that Allah makes us of those who enter Jannah without any hisab kitab, without any reckoning, inshaAllah. Right, okay, so did we worship Him and obey His commands, which our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came and taught us? This is also what Allah is going to ask us. Did we do any good deeds? Did we do any bad deeds? Allah will ask you this, and then you have to answer, yes, I did this good deed. And then Allah will question your motive for the good deed. What was the reason that you did the good deed? Did you do it because you wanted to show somebody? Did you do it because you want to impress somebody else? So Allah will question the motives. And then there's going to be your life will play in front of you like a movie. Allah will show you, look there, you did this and you did that, that is what you did. Allah will show you your actions. You will see everything that Allah shows you. Anyway, so all these questions Allah will ask, and if we pass the test by answering each question correctly, Allah will be pleased with us and send us to Jannah. Ameen. 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 And if we fail to answer the questions, we will be thrown into the fire of Jahannam. May Allah save us. May Allah save us from that, inshallah. Ameen. Thumma ameen. So to prepare ourselves for the Akhirat, we must obey the commands of Allah and follow the teachings of our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is your ticket and your recipe to Jannatul Firdaus. You obey the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, follow the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the best of your ability. Those people who will go into Jannah and live forever in happiness. Those people who will go into Jannah will live forever in happiness, while those who are meant to remain in hell forever will be surrounded by punishment. Now look at that word, forever. I mean, we say, oh, okay, I love you forever and things like that, or I'm going to, whatever, those type of things. But the word forever actually applies to the year after. Imagine living in Jannah forever. You don't get old in Jannah. You don't get weak, you don't get sick, you stay the same age in Jannatul Firdaus, and you live forever. There's no end to your life. So too those who are in Jahannam, from the disbelievers, in there they will receive their punishment forever. I told you, or I think I told you, which maybe it was the other class, that that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you your allocated punishment. Maybe your punishment is that you've got to spend a few days in Jahannam as a Muslim. Then Allah might give you that punishment and say, okay, you got one day or 1 week or 1 year of punishment in Jahannam. And when your punishment is done, then Allah takes you out and puts you in Jannah. Did I tell you about that, no? But so every Muslim will eventually enter Jannah. And when you enter Jannah, you're going to remain there forever. You're going to be married, you're going to stay with your spouse, and you can do whatever you want to do. You can fly wherever you want to fly, you can eat whatever you want to eat, and you can have such a nice time. There's no night time, you won't have to sleep. You don't sleep in Jannah. You don't go to toilet in Jannah. You don't have to bath in Jannah. Yeah, nothing like that. You don't even burp in Jannah. Everything is just comfort and comfort. You wear the best of clothes. You live in the best of homes. The best thing is that you will be able to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best thing is that you'll be able to see every Friday. You will see Allah subhanahu wa taala. Every Friday you will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you see Allah, then you become more beautiful. Every Friday you become more and more beautiful. The husband and the wife will look at each other after they see Allah, and he will tell her, oh my darling, you've become so much more beautiful. You're so stunning, you're so gorgeous. And she will say, oh my husband, you're so handsome. You're more handsome than what you were yesterday. So yeah, so it's an amazing place to be. And you must read up about the pleasures and the luxuries of Jannatul Firdaus. It's really beautiful, and it's difficult to imagine. Like if I must tell you, you're going to have a house built of gold and gemstones and rubies and things like that, and then you're going to wonder, like, how's that? If I tell you that the Hurul Ain, the maidens of Jannah, they are so beautiful that it's like almost that the skins are transparent. Like this is what the hadith says. It's like almost you can see through them. So I wondered to myself, how is something beautiful if you can see through it? So our minds cannot comprehend. Our minds cannot comprehend what was explained to us by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what the Prophet ﷺ saw of Jannatul Firdaus, and how Allah explains Jannatul Firdaus to us, because our knowledge is limited, our thinking is limited, so we cannot reach that level to actually understand and fathom and imagine and picture how Jannat looks. When we think of Jannat, we probably just think of big beautiful gardens with rivers and flows flowing. That's the best that we think of, but we can't think further than that. Because when Allah describes gardens of paradise and streams flowing, it's not the same like our gardens and the same like our streams. It's so much more beautiful that the mind cannot imagine, and something so beautiful that the eyes haven't seen yet. So no matter the most beautiful place you've seen in this world, it cannot even begin to compare to Jannatul Firdaus. And the worst pain that you've ever felt in this world will not even be able to compare to the least pain of the hereafter and the fire of Jahannam. May Allah save us from the fire of Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us Jannatul Firdaus, inshaAllah. The following persons, Ameen. Yeah, Ameen. The following persons' bodies are not eaten by the soil. You must always say Ameen whenever you make dua. Whenever dua is made in English or in Arabic or whichever language, if you're making salah together as a family, you're making salah together as a family, and your father is leading you in salah and he's making dua, then you must say Ameen, because you don't know whose Ameen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, whose Ameen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts. Maybe you're making dua and Allah loves the innocence of Ammara, and because of Ammara's Ameen, Allah accepts the dua for everybody. So the whole family gets forgiven because of Ammara, because Allah loves her innocence. Okay? And today is a special day, so maybe tonight when you make namaz, and then Atika says Ameen, then Allah loves her Ameen, because today was the day she finished the surah and she's going to the Quran. So Allah loves that, Or one day you're making salah and Arif Ali says Ameen, and Allah loves his Ameen because the way he recites the one surah for lesson today, or some good action that he did for his mother or for his father. So you don't know whose Ameen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts. So that's why always say Ameen when dua is made. Alright, the following persons' bodies are not eaten by the soil, the Anbiya. So the soil, now Arif Ali, you spoke about that. The body decomposes, which means the bodies are eaten by the soil and the insects. So whose body does not decompose? The Anbiya. Anbiya is plural of what? Yeah, prophets is plural of prophets. Anbiya is plural of. Hey, can you hear you? Anbiya is the plural. Anbiya means prophets. Nabi, there we go. So Nabi is singular. Nabi is one prophet. Make note. Nabi is one prophet. Anbiya is plural. So the prophets, their bodies that do not decompose, their bodies are not eaten. The awliya, who are the awliya? The awliya Allah, the saints. What is the awliya is the plural. What is the singular? Come. Awliya Allah. Come, that's plural. When you go visit, who would you go visit at the Karamat? You go visit there? When you go to the Karamat, who do you visit? Come. The singular of awliya. Awliya is saints. So one saint is a what of Allah? Awliya Allah. One saint is a. Come. You must know this. Yeah. Wali Allah. Wali. Yeah. Wali Allah. Wali Allah. So wali is singular. Awliya is plural. So we say Anbiya Allah, which means prophets of Allah, and Nabi Allah, it's one prophet. Then you say Awliya Allah, which are the saints. Then you say Wali Allah or Waliullah, which is singular. The Shuhada, one who gives his life in the path of Allah. So Shuhada in English means, right? Make notes of the Wali also. What does Shuhada mean? What do you call one who gives his life in the path of Allah and dies? Imam.
No.
What do you call somebody who gives his life in the path of Allah? He dies as a. Somebody goes to battle now for the sake of Islam. No? And now he gets slain, he gets killed in the battle. So he is called a, in English, or Arabic, or Urdu? Somebody who, come on people, man, somebody who dies in the way of Allah, somebody who dies in a good cause, for a good cause. He is known in English as a martyr. There we go. So Shuhada is the plural of martyrs. Shuhada is martyrs. So one martyr, many martyrs, many Shuhada, and what is the singular of it? The singular is Shaheed. Shaheed. Like you can say Imam Hussein was made Shaheed on the day of Karbala. In the battle of Karbala, Imam Hussein was martyred. He was made Shaheed. And he became of the Shuhada. He became of those who were martyred. Imam Hussein is known as Sayyid al-Shuhada, the greatest of all martyrs. So one Shaheed, many Shuhada. A Hafiz of the Holy Quran. These are the people now whose bodies will not be consumed. A Hafiz of the Holy Quran, one who learns the Quran by memory and who also acts upon the instructions of the Quran. Okay? Hafiz is singular. Hafiz is somebody who memorizes the Quran. What is the plural of Hafiz? In Arabic?
No. In Arabic.
Yes. Okay, in English, what? Hafizes. In Arabic, one Hafiz, many Huffaz. Huffaz. Make note, Huffaz, the thing at the bottom is not actually Z, is a V. A dha, ta and dha. Huffaz. A person who has never committed a sin and those who read Durud Sharif all the time. These people's bodies are not going to be consumed by the soil. Those who say that the Prophet's bodies have died and eaten by the soil are evil and insulting people. Anybody who say that the Prophets are dead and their bodies have been eaten, they are insulting to the statuses of Rasulullah and all the Prophets of Allah. The Prophets will not be asked questions in their graves. So Munkar and Nakir do not come and question the Prophets of Allah. Many people will not be asked questions in the graves like the good Muslims who die on Friday or in the month of Ramadan. So if you pass away on a Thursday evening after Maghrib or on the day of Jum'ah before Maghrib on Jum'ah, so you're passing away on a Friday, that's a good death. You will not be questioned in your grave. If you pass away during the month of Ramadan also, you will not be questioned in your grave. So those are good deaths. A person who does not accept the punishment and reward in the grave to be true is a misguided person. So as it is compulsory for you to believe in Jannah and Jahannam, so too you have to believe in the punishment and the reward of the grave. That is also what is haqq. Alright, the stuff that I spoke to you about. May Allah protect us from the punishment of the grave, inshallah. Ameen. Okay, that's all for today. So this is where we finished off, page 13. So we'll see what's next. I'll upload this video tomorrow morning, inshallah. So tomorrow is Tartib, okay?
Yes, sir.
Right, let me just